Multiple linear regression is a foundational technique in machine learning that's used to model the relationship between a dependent variable and two or more independent variables. For example, it can be used to predict an individual's salary based on years of experience, education level, and age. So, based off this information, the model for multiple linear regression assumes this form right here, where y, which is the predicted variable, or target dependent variable, xi are the features. So we have our first feature, say that's age, second feature, salary, third feature, gender, something like that. And we have an error term at the end, and our model coefficients, which is basically the scale of each of these features. And so the best way to demonstrate multiple linear regression, in my opinion, is through a Python demonstration. So what we're going to do is import our libraries right here. So essentially we have pandas for data manipulation, matplotlib for visualization, and scikit-learn for all of our model building and processing. Next thing we want to do is just create a data set. And this data set has categorical and numerical features. So we have experience, education, and salary. And what we're going to be doing is trying to predict salary based off education and years of experience. Note, of course, that education is a categorical variable. Now we want to prepare our features and target. So we have our x or independent variables, our experience and education, and we're going to be using them to predict salary. And now here's the more interesting part, where what we're going to do is build something called a pipeline with one-hot encoding. So what we're going to do is use something called a column transformer with a one-hot encoder to convert the education category into numeric dummy variables. Because our model will understand education, it needs to get it in some kind of numeric format that it can understand. We also have to do something, drop one categorical variable to avoid something called a dummy variable trap. And what this does is it avoids multicollinearity by dropping one category, because multicollinearity is something that will break our linear algebra assumptions. And then what we're going to do is build a pipeline that does our data pre-processing and then fits a linear regression model to it. So we can see step one is our preprocessor, which transforms our education column. And then we have a regressor, which is going to be our linear regression model. Then we just fit the model with the training data. And after we've done that, we can just start to view some of our data. So I'm going to view the coefficients and the equation. So here is our multilinear equation right here, which we can see our beta or our y-intercept, and then the weights or the coefficients for each of our variables. So education high school is this, times master's, PhD, and then we have our experience. And finally, after that, we're just going to visualize the results, which essentially here shows the relationship between experience and salary and the model's predicted trend line. And what we're doing is we're using the value bachelors for this trend line. I want to thank you for liking and subscribing. Check my software and courses in the description. Take it easy.